VINCENZO'S Go Crypto Investing in this update here this evening. You can see the United States has introduced a bill to regulate crypto, right? Crypto industry, new bill to regulate digital assets. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares. Is this not... So this is just going to be one of these things to where you just refuse to let me use your site, Yahoo, because you suck. You're almost as bad as Bloomberg. Bloomberg has one of the worst sites ever to try to use because of all the nonsense they put on there. Yahoo's probably number 2. The crypto industry was supportive of the new bipartisan legislation introduced this week to regulate crypto. Back in the day when crypto started, even up until about a year ago, everybody said the big thing about crypto was it was decentralized, out of the government's regulatory grounds, and it could stand on its own, right? But now, everyone said that's why it was so bullish for crypto, was because it wasn't regulated by the government. It was outside of the United States regulatory, and it was owned by the people. And now those same people that were touting Bitcoin as the reason that it was such a solid decentralized asset is because it was outside of any one government's control. And so they said that was very bullish for it, and that was one of the most bullish things for crypto and Bitcoin was it wasn't regulated and it was outside the banking system and outside of the regulatory system from the governments, right? Well, now that their governments are starting to regulate it, now those same people are flocking to the other side saying this is bullish for crypto, bullish for Bitcoin, because the industry needed regulatory oversight and whatnot. But all the regulatory oversight does is add cost to the brokerage houses like Coinbase and all the rest of them, right? And it adds a lot of things, right? And there's a lot more tax implications. There's a lot of things for buyers and sellers, right? And to me, it's bearish when the government starts to regulate it, right? When this was supposed to be touted as uncontrolled by the government, decentralized outside of the mainstream government system and banking system. So now all these people are flipping their tune now that the governments are trying to regulate it. Now they're trying to spin it as it's bullish, right? I think it's bearish that the government's regulating it. I think it's a headwind in the crypto, right? Puts forth Senate Kathleen Lumens, Republican West Virginia, and Christine Gillibrand, Democrat in New York, is also represented just as a starting point, blah, blah, blah. The bill will not become law in this Congress. Analyst Yahoo Finance noted, Congress is not ready to act on crypto legislation. Absence of crisis, it's hard to see Congress passing a crypto regulatory bill until the spring of 2024, and it is likely to take more time rather than less, right? Much needed clarity and certainty. Lobbyists in the crypto industry view this legislation as a great start and the first step towards larger debate on how to regulate the crypto sphere, right? So this is very important, and we're going to be continuing to monitor this over the next several years as this legislation unfolds and legislation gets turned away and new legislation gets introduced, and then that legislation gets thrown out, and then even more new legislation gets introduced, and then we got to go from there. And we'll continue to watch out for this over the next 12 to 18 months, 12 to 24 months, and see how this goes. And you can see our previous provisions stimulating stimulating that crypto transactions will not be taxed below $200. So if you do it below $200, it wouldn't be taxed. Would help usher digital assets into being used more as payment, according to the one crypto lobbyist. making it easy to buy a cup of coffee with Bitcoin. Well, they're not taxing crypto right now to buy a cup of coffee with Bitcoin, and it's very expensive. By them taxing or not taxing has nothing to do with there is no tax on crypto right now to use it, and the people still can't use it to buy a cup of coffee because it's too expensive, right? So we're going to pay attention to that as the years go on. We're going to look over here real quick at the Bitcoin chart. But my phone has a very bad signal, so we might not be able to look at the Bitcoin chart. There it is. So I'm outside of a bowling alley. I got a bowling league tonight, summer league. And you can see if this thing would ever load, because I got to get in there. Jesus, this is painful. Just painful. This is what you get with fucking T-Mobile. It's junk. But you can see we're not going to get any of our lines in here because it's just a disaster. So we're just going to continue on with this. But you can see Bitcoin still at the same spot. It's sitting on top of that white support zone. Every time it gets, that's the volume indicator that we went over. You get the wicks down in there to get bought back up. And then every time it gets up into this upper resistance, there's lines up there, but it's not going to show up because my signal is horrible. It gets bought back down. So what I would watch out for right now is that they continue to trade in between this white support zone, right? That's your major, almost a no trade area, but you can use it as if you come down there, you buy it, comes back up into here, you sell it. So that's what I'm watching out for right now. And Bitcoin, I can't really do anything because there's just so much. I just don't have a signal. Look at this. I can't give you guys a proper update. But all this nonsense on the top of my fucking screen has no problem going in. But God forbid I want to pull a fucking chart up. It can't fucking do it. But it can continue to give me all the bullshit I don't want. This is horrendous. This is absolutely horrendous. And this is going to have to be the end of my update because I can't load a chart up. This is insane. Like, come on. But this is what I got. This is all I got. I'm just flabbergasted. This is just a joke. There we go. But you can see there's your upper resistance at 30,900, that overhead red horizontal upper resistance. Your lower support is that orange ring that's descending from the left to right across your screen. And then that white area is our white support box with the volume indicator. So that's what I would watch out for. Your key areas for support, if you come down, is down here towards that orange ring in the bottom of that white support box. And your upper resistance is the first one right here. And then the blue ring that's rejected you 3 times in the past. And that's what I'm going to keep an eye out for this evening and tonight. And then real quick XRP, and then I got to get into the bowling alley because this is just very frustrating that I can't even get a proper chart. You can see XRP as we zoom out to the 2-hour time frame is being squeezed in between a descending 200-day moving average in green and an uptrending and stabilizing 50-day and 100-day in red and blue respectively. And we got our underneath support at 37 cents. And then if you break that, you're coming to 33 cents, and you got your overhead resistance up there at this local top back here at about 47 cents. So if you want to get bullish, you got to get over that 200-day moving average in green. If you're looking to get bearish, you got to break that 37 cents to the downside. Like, subscribe, and share to Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing. Peace and love. Peace and love.